Hey everyone, I hope you're taking it easy and your day has been great thus far. For this video, we'll be going through an unboxing of the high grade 1 to 144 Fawn Farsia, and this particular mobile suit is from Mobile Suit Gundam Age, and this particular kit was released this year being 2022, by Bandai. Getting straight into the nitty-gritty, here we have the front of the box for the Fawn Farsia. Now, because it's monochromatic, yes, it is P Bandai, unfortunately. But it is still basically the original Farsia high grade, just with probably one or two more accessories. And I think it's actually lacking some accessories from the original Farsia release. So, whilst this is a P Bandai and I didn't get it from Hobbylink, I will include a link to the original high-grade Farsia in the description below. And probably even some of the other Mobile Suit Gundam Age kits as well, just in case this has spurred off any interest, so feel free to check those out. So, front of the box, Farsia front and center. Well, I take that back, more to the right, with the bits deployed and the change in weapon. I wish I remembered the pilot name. That I cannot remember. We'll see if it's inside the box, but may not be given it's a P Bandai. That's the front of the box, in a very interesting white and pinkish red, although I guess really it's not too surprising. Bottom of the box, surprisingly a lot more diagrammatic than it has been. Other side of the box, top of the box, other side. So surprisingly, despite being a P Bandai, it actually has a bit going on. So that was the box lid. In terms of what's inside, 1, 2, 3, 4 bags of runners. We will have the original instruction manual for the Farsia, and we will have one for the Fawn Farsia. Now, because I did mention it, and I'll mention it again later on, the base that the Farsia is on is part of the original release. It doesn't appear to be included in this one, so there is some benefits of the original release. So now that we have an idea of what's included, I will open up the bags and then we can have a better look at everything that is included. And with everything now out of the bags in the box, so I thought I would start off with the little insert for the Fawn Farsia before moving into the original Farsia manual. It does make me wonder if it's supposed to be pronounced as Farsia or Farsia. Anyway, I'm pronouncing it as Farsia, so yeah. So, in terms of the one pager, so it does have the parts list. So we do have A, C, 2 E's, base parts, and a sticker. Oddly enough, there is a included B runner, but I'm assuming it's because it's from the original, maybe. Confusing, but that's okay. So we do have a bit of parts list. We do have a color guide, which was a combination of grey, light coral pink, so there's a slightly different recolor, coral pink, clear orange, light pink, and green. In terms of the assembly, so I suspect if step 6.1 might have different feet. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. There will be the baton assembly, which is unique to this particular P Bandai, and a unique type of base, which does replicate some features of the original one, possibly to a slightly better effect, but yeah, it's not too bad. So that's the little one-pager that we get included, which I will put to the side. In terms of the original Farsia manual, so this is what the manual looked like back in the day of the Farsia. That's the front. So back then, which would have been 2012 when this first came out, so effectively a solid decade has passed. Still purely Japanese. In terms of the inside, that was pretty much what was included with the original release, and I do have one nearby actually. The included base gimmick was really cool, and I'm glad I actually did it back then. And as I said, if you don't mind waiting, I would say definitely get one of these. It's a fun little build and it's quite unique with its look. So that's that. In terms of the parts list, so this is the original release. So there is that B runner, which will come about, and I suspect A and C have been modified slightly, or potentially at least recolored. There will be no D. In terms of the build, now as with many of the vegan suits, it was always build the torso and back bit first, which to be honest is usually how most kits start. Build the head, the arms, and I will admit I do like how they have the little integrated weapons within their palms. Touching all that together, building of the feet. So this is the original 6-1. This is the new 6-1. So A39 is the same, but they've actually gone away with these two C parts and replaced it with an E part. So there you go. C18 will be the same. So basically they've probably combined this new E part into what those two parts were back then. So there you go. Interesting little revelation on that. I think that's pretty much the only new build step. Everything else is pretty much the same. Legs, put that all together. Not sure if the tail is still going to be around. Quite possibly. We won't worry about the base because the base isn't included, but that's what it would have built like back in the day. And in fact, that is what the kit would have looked like. And yes, some of these little petal launchers were very finicky back in the day. Still are. Watch me struggle doing this on live camera. But this is basically the original Farsia release. Yes, a tail is currently on as well. So that is basically what the original looked like. And as I said, please excuse the dust. Yes, I would say if you can wait around for one, I'd say at least try and get this one if you're not too keen on the P-Bandai. So that was that as a little bonus item. Anyway, included sticker sheet, nothing too fancy. There'll be some color correcting stickers, some of these thruster bits, definitely the eye visor, and I can't remember what that silver one's for. Now before I forget, it's actually interesting because now that you can see what they were for, we will have 3 plastic clear rods included. This is basically to help with the posing of the petal bits, as you just saw in the original Farsia. So this is basically still a carryover from the original. Now, in terms of runners, here we have the A runner. In fact, I'm just going to quickly have a look. Okay, so the original print was 2012, so this actually has not been changed. So multicolor A, most of it is black with this coral pink, bit of orange, and that's actually where the silver sticker is for. It's for the underneath of the gem. This is actually orange now, it used to be pink in the original. and then this is that more of that darker coral pink. So that's the A runner. Other than colours, remains unchanged. B runner also in a bit of black. This will be the joints. The tail is also included. Also the back of the hands there. Into the C runner, which is the one very light pink, or light coral pink. So this will definitely be of a lighter colour than the original. But based on what is on it, and I'm sure if I flipped it around, yes, this is still a 2012 print. So nothing has changed other than from its original pink, it has become a light coral pink. So that's pretty cool. So that's the C runner. We have two E runners, so starting with E1. So this will be brand new for the Farsia, or Fawn Farsia, printed in 2022. Most of this will be for the baton, and this will be the revised feet. And I'm wondering if it's just a change to accommodate with the difference in action base, maybe. Possibly. So that's E1, and that's also in that light coral pink. We have E2, which is in coral pink. So I suspect these will be for hands, and this will be for the action base, which is actually really cool that they still include one. And the dots in the piece are to assist with putting in some of that plastic rod. So that's E2. And then lastly, we have a BA0 in a translucent pinky purple, some description. Trans Am pink, Trans Am red, either. But yes, that's the usual BA0 that's included in some high grades this day and age. So yes, it's nice that they include this. So that brings us to an end of the unboxing of the Fawn Farsia, with a slight cameo of the original Farsia in more ways than one. From what I remember of the build, and it was obviously in a time before I moved into doing YouTube content, the build is quite fun. In fact, a lot of the vegan suits were quite interesting to build, and I think as the decade has passed, you appreciate their different style a lot more than what probably was felt at the time of initial release. And the vegan suits do have some very interesting styles and things like that. The Danazine is probably a really good example of, I thoroughly enjoyed it. And yeah, I would say now that a decade has passed, what's another decade, but if you can get your hand on some vegan suits from Gundam Age, I think you'd be quite pleasantly surprised. Anyway, unboxing done and dusted. Hopefully won't take too long to build, but you'll obviously be going straight into the backlog as many other things go too. Thank you very much for watching this video. Feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the content. All of this does help support the channel, and I do greatly appreciate it. Extra content can also be found on my Instagram account, link below. And as a reminder, I'll have links to HobbyLink Japan for the standard retail release of the Farsia, as well as some other kits from Gundam Age. Stay safe and take care, and I will catch you all in a future video. See ya.